Hey Carla, I know it's been a while since we've done a video, but I think it's time. So what I'm going to do tonight for you is some egg foo young, which is a dish that I've always enjoyed eating. I've never made it before. Um, and when we talked on the phone the other day, you talked about cutting down on carbs and all that. So this is a dish that'll suit that just fine. Pretty easy to make. Got a few ingredients. You can adjust the ingredients to whatever you want to have in it. Um, so it's very adjustable that way. So I hope you enjoy this. We're going to get started on it right now. Okay, so the ingredients we're going to need, obviously it's egg foo young, so we're going to need some eggs. How many eggs you use is going to depend on how many people you're actually cooking for. I'm going to do 5 eggs. If you're doing more people, use 6, 7. Depends on how many people you're doing. Shrimp egg foo young. So I've got some shrimp that I just boiled very quickly, like 2 minutes in boiling water, just so it's already cooked. Got some fresh bean sprouts. Got some chives that I just cut up. Shredded carrots. Some mushrooms that I just sauteed very briefly. I think I'm going to skip that. A little bit of sugar. A little salt and pepper. Some sesame oil. Soy sauce. Gonna need a broth or a stock of some sort. It can be chicken broth, vegetable broth, whatever you want to use. I found mushroom broth the other day, so I'm gonna try this. This is gonna be for the brown sauce we put on top of the egg foo young. Also gonna need a little bit of rice wine vinegar, which is optional, and definitely gonna need some cornstarch to thicken up our sauce. So that's it. And we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so in the bowl I've got my 5 eggs. And to this we're going to add some other ingredients. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of garlic powder in there. Not a whole lot. We're going to whisk these up. Means I need a whisk. Don't want to whisk them too much. Just kind of enough to get them broken up a bit. That. And then we're going to add the other ingredients. Toss in my mushrooms. Carrots. Notice I'm not putting quantities in here because your quantities are going to vary depending on how many people you're actually cooking for. Alright, fresh bean sprouts, which came from Publix. They always have fresh bean sprouts. It's the only place I ever went to find them. Shrimp. Chives. This is going to be a very chunky egg foo young, but that's okay. It'll be tasty that way. A little bit of salt and pepper. A little bit of soy sauce to go in here. Get all that all mixed up really good. Then off to the frying pan. Alright, so I've got a frying pan here with some oil in it. It's hot. What I'm going to do is take my bowl, and I'm just going to take a ladle basically just ladle some of this in here. You don't want the pan too hot because you don't want the eggs to burn. So keep that in mind. And we're just going to let that cook for a few minutes. And then we got to flip it. That'll be fun. And once we get those made, then we're going to make our sauce to go on top of it. Okay, the egg foo young itself is made, so what I'm working on now is the sauce. So in here I've got 1 cup of the broth. To that we're going to add a little bit of soy sauce. A little bit of the wine vinegar. If you're not a fan of vinegar, if you don't want that tanginess, it's optional. Leave it out. A little spritz of that. You need a little bit of sugar. Pinch of salt. A little bit of pepper. And a good start. Also going to add about a teaspoon of the sesame oil. It'll give it a nice flavor. And now that that's come up to a boil, what we're going to do is we're going to add, I've got basically about 3/4 of a cup of broth in here with about 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. And that, when we add it into here, is going to thicken up, and that's going to make our sauce. So we'll go ahead and add that in there. Probably good right there. That'll thicken up very quickly, generally. Off, and then that is done and ready to put onto the egg foo young. So we move the camera and we'll do that. Alright, so my sauce is nice and thick. So that just kind of goes over the egg foo young like that. It is done. So while that's still hot, let's give this a try here. Big piece of shrimp there. That is tasty stuff. Carla, give this a try. I think you'll like it. It's got shrimp in it, so I know you're going to like that. Don't have to really worry about the carbs, so you're going to like that. So anyway, egg foo young, Mark style. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you again soon.